Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the D2 Talks. My name is Fabio Palvelli, and this week on the channel we have the guys from Graph, a young creative company based in Barcelona. Roser and Albert are two funny guys. They're very entertaining. This conversation was a lot of laughing, a lot of fun. They share with me their story as well as some insight in what the architecture of visualization industry is. I really hope you're gonna enjoy this talk. If you do, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time on the channel. And please share this with your friends and family and make your dog watch this talk, or a cat if you're a cat person. It would really help the channel grow. Thanks a lot for sticking around, and I'll see you guys later. How are you guys? How's it going?
Well, it's good. We are at home.
Yeah.
Work from home. Work from home.
We have set up all the team at home too. We have been working for different systems, VPN. He's the tech guy, so he will explain it.
Finally, after 4 days, we managed to work remotely, and it's working. It's fine, but the thing is, like,
I don't know when we're going to put this interview online, so in order to give a little bit of context to people, we are in the middle of the apocalypse at the moment.
It's the first week in Spain with the quarantine, so it's like it has begun, the apocalypse.
We have been home now, I think, for about 3.5 weeks almost.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, because we came back from a trip, they told us, okay, you should stay in quarantine, and so we stayed in quarantine. And now I think it's basically 10 days that Israel is under. It's closed, and I think that tomorrow they're gonna make it official, and the police and the military it's going to go around the streets to avoid people going around.
Let me introduce our cat.
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl. She's a little bit aggressive.
What's her name?
Chloe.
Employee of the month.
She helps us pressing some random keys on the keyboard.
She manages all the clients.
Exactly. So,
Albert, thanks a lot for taking the time. I apologize that, we started this interview in a total super friendly way, but I guess the time calls for it, we need to be a little bit more, able to be a little bit more relaxed, because you open the internet and it's only bad news.
That's true.
And we need to put a stop to this.
So for the future people that will see the interview, maybe that when the interview is out, we've been like 2 months at home. Stay there, stay strong, keep going.
Guys, how are you today?
We are good. Everything's good. We work together, we live together, so spending time with him, it's not a different thing, but it's not a new thing. I think that we are not going to kill each other, so good for now.
My wife and I were getting into this phase where we start to say mean things to each other. And then I'm like, okay, I apologize, it's the quarantine. Don't take it personal.
Exactly.
Guys, let's talk a little bit about you, about your the work that you do. Actually, let me ask you, very basic question. How did you get started with Graph? I'm very curious to hear the stories of people, say, from Italy, from Greece, Spain, because usually the common understanding is that those were always countries where everything was more difficult because there was no money, because there was no infrastructure to do that. But you guys run a very successful office. So do you mind telling us a little bit your story?
Of course.
I'm going to show some of your work.
We are architects, and it was like 2011. So we are childs from the first crisis, like 2008. When I met one of my colleagues from the college, and we have no work in the studio that we are working in this time, and we have like a freelancing option to make images for other studios in this time. and we made like 3 competitions, and we won the 3 competitions. It was like, wow, super easy, no? Yeah, we are good on it.
Like there's something there.
Yeah,
there's something there.
But it was 10 years ago, and at this time we're willing to do that. But okay, the rates are super low. The fees are terrible. Everything you take everything because you have to survive with nothing more. And maybe like 4 years later, I met Bruce, and Bruce became...
Well, no, we met at 2011.
2011?
That, yes, thank you. Wow.
This stays.
I love you too, my love. Okay, so we met when they were starting, he and his colleague. And when I met them, I was also finishing my degree, so I started to, since I was an architect, I wanted to be more or less on doing something related to architecture. So we were taking everything, like kitchen refurbishment, let's do it, 3D competition, let's do it. We were starting to do everything. But we will say that in 2016, we got tired about the interior design refurbishments. We also won a big competition that was a mental health institution to make the refurbishment. It was very interesting, but we really love more the 3D art beast thing. So 2016 we said let's go for it, and we stopped all the other smaller legs.
Yeah, no, we take the path for being an arts-based studio, not trying to have all the doors open.
Yeah.
But I think it was a super good decision in our life.
You did very well. I mean, the work that you're making right now, it's amazing, very beautiful, very inspiring. I see people loving the stuff that you do on the social media. And I guess that sometimes you're just good, right? You cannot help it.
No, it takes time to deliver a job that you are happy with it, your client is happy with it. Since we decided to be on the ArtBeat path, we have more clients that call us that I want what you do. This is amazing because they trust you. So to me, it's very important.
How long did it take you to develop, so to say, this characteristic about your office? Meaning, that your work is very recognizable and people call you because of the stuff that you do. How long did it take you, and how did that happen? Was it organically, or did you guys notice, okay, we're doing something right, we should continue doing what we're doing?
I would say that since these last 4 years, when we decided to go to that, it was organical, step by step, learning from each project, learning from each client. We managed to have some clients that are very, I'm not finding the word, that they call us like regularly.
Okay.
Returning
clients.
Yeah, that we have a lot of confidence with them, and we ask them things that, do you want to manage this project in another way? Do you prefer this way? So we don't like to have the solution. We like to learn the solution with our clients, also with the people working on the studio. So I will say that it's organically.
So it sounds like a lot relies on communication.
Yeah, that will be a good way to say it. Thank you.
Well, you're saying it. I'm just putting a label on it.
Yeah, we trust that it's not also our work. It's the good relationship with client that makes the work is done in a perfect point. No? If the client is not doing a good and fluent communication and everything is going to the completely opposite side, you don't gonna make a good work. You will make something, but you don't feel super.
You have to do it together with your clients. If not.
Yes. Sometimes you cannot consider a job just a job. You need to consider it as part of yourself, because then you're forced to get involved and to help the conversation with the client because you care. Maybe you care more than the client does.
That's true. but also it's important that, the artistic parts of the image, you have to choose it, but what the clients want to communicate with this image, you don't have to lose that. This is very important. So do it with your artistic skills behind, but you have to deliver what your client needs.
Yeah, and also clients, there are some clients that they are impossible, so don't worry. Everything is going to, there's one way, another way, the other way, and finally, you know, probably you are get stuck, I have to be my work super proud and your client is fucked up. Okay, that's a problem. And then the other part is that the client is completely crazy and you are doing nothing. That's the whole point about our profession is super hard to define your relationships. Yeah, and also, but the thing is, like, if client works and you have a good connection, usually you get to another point in your work.
Yeah.
Because if not, you are only doing personal work and doing super fancy images in Instagram, but you are completely doing by yourself.
Once somebody said to me that if you do that, you're basically just playing video games, and of course people don't want to pay you for playing video games.
Exactly.
That's not bad.
If you put it in the right context, you can get paid also to play video games.
Exactly. No, but to me it's not that they give you like this brief and then you make images. It's like the conversation, that what you want to accomplish, what do you need to communicate. Is it a competition? Is it for real estate? Is it for the neighbor on the corner? Is it for a government? This is very important. And we have to work together with it. Yeah.
Since we talked a little bit about this, would you mind sharing with me some of the things that you know that the client doesn't get about the type of work that you do, but that then you're able, because you have the experience and you understand what the client says, then you have the ability to say, okay, I know what I have to do because the client maybe doesn't know how to explain it, or maybe doesn't have the clear idea. Would you mind?
I'm not sure how to explain it or how to translate it, but we are constantly in contact with our clients and we are on the telephone and it's like we are coaching them. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
So
coaching is a good word. Yeah.
Yeah, that walk me through the process, walk me through your project. Why did you do that? Oh, so this facade is important in your project because it has this context and the idea of your project is that. So yeah, I would say kind of
also
coaching them. Yeah.
And also after a lot of experience, one of the things like you have each year some client that he never have the experience to have like this kind of conversation to make it imagery. And it was like, come on, we will help you. Because if I have to do the things that you are saying, the image, it will be a chaos and it will be a mess. And it's obviously you have some resources to make it happen and talk with the client with more clearly saying, come on, we will do it in that way. Yeah,
but you have to talk them through that. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to say what you're saying because you're just saying change the tree, for example, not this typical comment. I'm not going to do that because of that. And you explain all the reasons. So it's communication.
So that's related about the powerful thing about saying no to people, no? That it's usually they say, okay, come on, it's super easy. No, it's super easy. It's super hard for a company say no to a client. But you have to say it. But you have to ask why. Why do you need these changes? You're doing this because there's a purpose. There's something that the client wants to show you that you are not doing well in the final image. And so it's super important. Rosés always tell that the most important thing is. Before saying no,
ask why. Before, after, then. Well,
I get it.
You get it? So why it's more important than no. That's why.
Wow, in our studio. But we say no. We say no. Yeah, we say no.
Yeah, we say no. But
we don't know. Maybe it's more.
We say no, but we try to say yes as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. No, and if it makes sense, and if it's super important for the client, I don't know. We had one call that it was an overcast image, and say for the next day, can you make it daylight? Like, damn you! But why? They explain all the reasons, and I say, yeah, it's very short time, but
it's a
we
competition.
will do it. It's a competition. You need to win,
And finally they win.
yeah, they won.
So they won. Yeah, and we are proud of the decision because finally we work harder, but the results are there to see. Okay, we won, and it's super happy for everyone and for the team to see this kind of things.
Yeah.
Let me ask you maybe a little bit of a tricky question. Do you guys need to? Do you feel that sometimes you also need to coach your clients on pricing? You know, maybe somebody comes to you and say, but I know somebody that will do it for half of the price.
Yes and no, because I think that we are in a very sweet moment now.
Or now, or
yeah,
we'll see.
for 1 month.
Now, beside the apocalypse.
No, in the
Call me in a month.
We'll do anything.
Yeah, give it to me. No, yeah. So till now we've been in this moment that they know what they want.
Yeah.
And we always send the portfolio via email. So when they see the images, it's like, yeah, these high-end images are those prices. But yeah, when we started, that we say that before 2016, it was, yeah, €5 less. Yeah, I take it.
Yeah, €50 less, and it was like
€1 less. Yeah. You know.
I remember the worst project that I had to do in order to survive once was, it wasn't a visualization project, it was a planning project as an architect. It was in 2008 during the recession, and we had no work whatsoever inside the office. And this millionaire came. He wanted to get the application to the planning application to win. He wanted to win the planning application to get a dog house for a big dog. And so I remember that I had to research dog houses as an architect, just, graduating, and I had to draw the damn thing, and I remember that I was like complaining to my boss, and my boss was like, this guy is paying £10,000. And I was like, just do the goddamn house, the dog.
Do a masterpiece, but in the size of a dog, yeah.
Well, last year we made one of these projects.
Well, we made a very crazy project last year.
Advertisement company.
Really?
Yeah, we...
Do you feel ashamed? Do you want to share?
No. It's a shame because it's...
But it was super funny, actually.
We made a car house.
Yeah, a house with the shape of a plane and a house with the shape of a car.
Oh my god, amazing.
And it was super crazy to do it, but it was super fun also.
Victorian style also. So more inputs, please.
I need to find those pictures somewhere.
No.
Yeah, we'll send it to you.
But I'm not gonna put them on the video. I'm not gonna put them on the video.
Well, maybe we'll talk.
Let me ask you, what were some of the things that you wish you had known when you first started out now, looking back?
Come on.
Well, to me,
Yeah.
I would say management in general, like business management and human resources management. Because business, you don't know about profit margins. What's that? These things, and then you hire an account manager, and he starts to explain a lot of weird words, and you're like, yeah, okay, do whatever you want to do. And also with people management, because last year we had, the first person that we have ever hired left us, and it was kind of sad
Yeah.
We understood the reasons because she had 1 hour and a half to go from work to home and the other thing, so 3 hours a day.
Commuting, yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy. So we completely understand the reasons, but it was like a big sad moment for us that our heart broke a little bit. When they lack of motivation or if they are stuck in one project, how to make them, I don't know, change the mind or it's difficult, and we are still learning. So
we're still learning. It's a way to know that finally we have a studio and we have to manage it. And it's like when you begin, you only I don't know, you push all your efforts in only survive, and after one thing I was thinking about this is like when we begin, we don't know what's quality. What is the quality? Because we begin so early that finally we are just a service that clients call for I have a problem and we have the solution, but where is the quality? It doesn't exist at the beginnings of our work. And finally now, after a lot of efforts and everything,
and trials and fails and learns,
we are in another way that finally we show the art of this way to make a company that is more in quality, not in other things. I'm more in the artistic way to communicate everything. So, but if I could change it, I would change it to be more focused in the quality at the beginning. But also at this point, we don't have education.
No, we are spending a lot of time now doing workshops, online workshops, or workshops that we go there. I don't know, presential.
Trying to specialize yourself even further.
Yeah, exactly, and to learn from art background, art.
That's something that you don't always hear people saying, especially when they have a company that it's established. I was very surprised a couple of times asking this question to some of the studio owners, and the answer that I would get sometimes is, yeah, but I'm a studio owner, I don't need to learn new things. And I'm like, learning new things, it's always a good thing.
We are a very small studio, so all of us are in production.
Yeah. So you need to be on top of the...
Yeah, and not just us. We want all the team that take courses.
How many of you are you at the moment at Graph?
Sorry. Now we are 4.
Okay.
But we have been making interviews last week to hire someone.
Okay.
But we are on hold now.
Yeah.
Because...
usually are 5, 6 people.
The apocalypse is big.
I think, to be honest with you, like... in my opinion, I worked in a small and a medium team. I think that in architecture visualization, keeping a small team, it's probably optimal. And now at the moment with this crisis, you see a lot of companies that are struggling because there is a lot of competition and you cannot charge the money that you used to charge a few years back. So it's hard. And having a large team, it's very difficult. And I see that those who keep below the 10 people, they are the more flexible ones, Obviously, you always want to grow because you want to do more work, but it's also a question of saying, I take a responsibility. What happens if there is a recession or this crisis, nobody saw it. I mean...
So this weekend it was proof that because we are 4 people only, it was kind of easy or kind of fast to move
everything
to home, to each people home. If not, we will have to go home by home, arranging everything or trying another.
It would be a lot more difficult. I have
that was kind of lucky. I don't know.
I have so much respect for those guys that, have companies of like 40, 50 people. I'm like, I cannot even imagine the headache,
it's super fast. I think that for everyone, it's like, come on, do it super fast remote apps, trying to test everything, and it was, well, okay, we will see. Be positive, my friend.
Roser, you mentioned something about trial and error, failure, and so on. Is there an episode that you guys felt like it was a failure, but also turned out to be a good life lesson, a teaching lesson?
Well, I would say with the interior design moment, since I was an architect, I wanted to give architecture a try. So it was before 2008. All that you can do was to refurbish some bathrooms and some kitchens. And management with the managing people, the workers, the plumbers and painters and all these guys, it was super difficult to me. I was not happy. I think that I was 1-2 years trying this way because it was what I have been studying, so I have to do it. I self-imposed this to me, so no one said that you have to do this job. And after talking and seeing what Albert was doing back then, and that I was not happy doing that, I realized that I didn't like it. And so this is why it wasn't working, because I didn't like it. So the lesson would say that if you don't like what you're doing, you're not going to be good at it.
Yeah.
You cannot force that.
Yeah. Actually, I did a very good kitchen for my friend. Very nice job. But yeah, no, it's if you don't like it, you're not going to be good at it. That's for sure.
And also I think that you have to put a lot of effort what you're doing. So if you have like 2, 3, 4, 5 things to do and finally you're not focused.
If you like it, it's not effort.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. It gets natural. Like you can spend, I don't know, till late nights watching video tutorials or learning or I don't know, reading books because you like it. If you don't like it, the time you're going to start like, oh, it's 7. I'm done. I'm going home. Well, I'm home now, but you know.
Can I add something to what you said? Because I can see people getting a little bit confused. And I mean, when you like something, you like the good and the bad. A lot of people make images because they like the outcome. But in this work, you need to like when your client calls you, when he says, we got last minute changes. And, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit part of the problem because I push people to get paid what they deserve. But sometimes people fail to understand that what you deserve, it's also what you do for your clients. And sometimes you have to do things that you don't get paid for because it's simply your responsibility.
But that's a problem about recommendations, that people give you recommendations. It's super good, but each person is completely different and has his life in this moment focus point of his life, and maybe you have this recommendation from someone with a lot of expertise and experience. You took it super like, okay, I'm gonna do it because he said like, that. And
I'm going to do that.
That's what.
No, don't do that. That's a recommendation. I know.
It's very important. I think you're completely right. People need to think with their own head and not just. I think that we have evolved into this tutorial society where, okay, the video says do this and this and this, and then people just behave like.
Exactly.
No wonder AI is going to take your job. You're just doing a tutorial.
You're following the steps. So it's more like follow your instincts thing. That maybe this recommendation comes from someone that has been in this industry for 20 years, and now he has the recommendation. He or she, of course, has the recommendation. But it took 20 years for this person to arrive to this recommendation. So if it's first year, listen to the recommendation, but
use
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's very important.
It's like no recommendations are there, okay, and we have to know everything, but I don't know. One of the recommendations, diversify. okay, diversify because the table is better if you have 3 legs or 4 than only one. It's clear, okay? It's clear. It's a good recommendation. But now we have like a global super crisis that, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What I have to
can
diversify?
help in this case, you know, it's
Yeah.
like
So okay.
No, but yeah, actually, we have this. We follow this recommendation about diversifying, and luckily, that this week we have 2 public competitions that has been cancelled or postponed.
Yeah.
So luckily, we have private projects going on, and they are still on. So that was a
and also a failure. No, it could be a failure because maybe one of the projects we don't want to do it, and finally we talk with the client saying, no, I could do it. Please don't touch me. But no, we don't do it like super rude. We only do it. It's impossible now. Blah blah blah. But now we have the client now because we don't hire him, you know, and we are like, ooh, it could be worse than that.
Don't be rude to anyone, actually. That
don't
could be
burn bridges,
No, probably it's a good recommendation. Don't be rude, no.
Yeah, but not to no one, not clients, no one.
No, be just a decent human being. That's
Please.
I you know, what surprised me is that in 2020, the best recommendation that you can give to somebody is be a nice person.
And wash your hands.
And wash your hands. It's like we're going back to the Paleolithic times, you know. It's like
No, actually, I was with Jeff in the THU, with Jeff Motel, and we were talking about to sneeze on your elbow.
All right.
2019, and we were laughing about it, that now people is learning how to sneeze on their elbows, that we know that already.
Yeah, be Batman.
Actually, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have this conversation with you, because every time that I talk to Jeff always tells me how much he laughs when he's with you guys. And I'm like, I want a part of this.
Yeah, you have to come. Well, we will do a video call with Jeff. He will be probably awake. So.
Yeah, as of now, probably yes, you're right.
Yeah. With Jeff, we met him when we started to make the ABBA Summit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We met him that night. It was a super fun night, and it was like friends forever kind of situation.
It was a clash.
Yeah. We fell in love.
Jeff is that kind of person. You either love him or you fucking hate him. You know, it's like...
Who hates Jeff? No, come on. Who hates
There are people. I can tell you.
Okay.
Don't be rude.
Don't be rude. That's
Come on, he's from Canada. It's the nicest country in the world. So.
by default, they're born by saying sorry.
With Jeff, we have a lot of jokes. We talk with him actually kind of every day or every week, and sometimes it's serious conversation, but 80% of the times it's stupid things like nonsense and these things, and it's super good to call him friend, actually.
Yeah. Guys, let me ask you, I'll stir you back into the conversation of our chat. Let me ask you a little bit about inspiration. And I don't mean the artistic inspiration, I mean more of like the entrepreneurial inspiration. A lot of artists are motivated by other people because they look at other people and they get inspiration. They say, we want to be like them. In your case, was there a person that had an influence in the way you decided to do your things, to do your business?
Yeah, probably. We have like two folk. Well, we will explain some stories. The first one was when we decided to be in Auschwitz. It was 2015, no?
2015, 2016.
Yeah, we've been to Academy Days to show.
Actually, we went to Venice, and he went to the Academy Days, and I went to the Biennale d'Arquitectura. Yeah. So it was 2015, so it makes sense with the story that after that I was still trying to be an architect, you know.
So we met before, no?
Yeah, we met in 2011. Thank you.
Oh my God, you guys are amazing.
In 2 months that we are going to be home, I'm sure we are going to make 9 years together.
Wow.
Yeah. If we are right.
I love this.
Well, focus.
Yeah, what?
What? No.
I tell you, I'm not gonna edit anything out because this is the most fun that I've had since, the time that I started to make these interviews.
Oh my God. So yeah, focus. He was in the...
Yeah, I was in the
Academy
days, and I saw train from Tron from here.
Yeah.
He was there doing one of the lectures, and he explained like Mir. He only explained that about Mir. It's like he felt like the company was like a restaurant, and I was like, what, a restaurant? And probably it's one of the things that everybody told now. It's like, what a restaurant? No, expensive restaurant. No, people don't talk super disappointed with the waiters. The waiters come you and said, that's the best dish on your life. Enjoy it. I'm gonna show you all the trip to go to the final dessert, and everything will be like fantastic. And that's the way to make like another kind of company, Not only, please, I need spaghetti now.
And
no, that's not the way.
Kind of empathize a lot with this story because we ate a lot.
Yeah.
And we go to restaurants a lot.
Yeah. Too much. Now we are losing weight.
We're losing weight. We love to. We usually eat very healthy at home, but we like to go and spend money on restaurants. This is like kind of a hobby that we have, and we really understand the story because in every dish that they present you, there's a story, there's a reason, there's an idea that they want to transmit and everything, and we took that. Because we've been in a restaurant, and we took that and said, we have to put that on...
Yeah, in our menu.
In our menu, exactly. And to me, I would say that I think that it was 2016 also that we had a barbecue that Victor Enrique arranged to invite all the studios from Barcelona. And I met their Playtime, Diego Querol, Dieguito Chiquito.
Dieguito Chiquitito.
And also I found Santiago Mañero, you know him from math. We used to study together in the university, and when I found that he was also there, it was super good. And to learn their stories, so I was just beginning, and I learned their stories and how they get to the art piece, and that it was like, oh, that's something, that's a profession. Oh, okay, I didn't know it. I thought that it was, the typical image of a person in the studio at home without lights, being there all the time. So to me, it was very inspiring to meet them professionally.
Yeah. Also, after this barbecue, we get a call from a friend that he will be the director of a Congress of Architecture in Barcelona. So they have public funds to make it happen. And he phoned me to say, come on, Albert, if you want to do something related to arts with your studio or whatever, you could do it. You could have a museum, something to make
an exposition, to make some talks. And it was, I will say that it was 1 month apart that we had this barbecue and we had this phone call. And it was when we did the ABBA Summit.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it was super amazing because it was not so many time to do it. But we felt like we could do it. We have all the different studios that we met ourselves, and I was like, "Come on, do it!" And the responsive or the calling, it was super fast because people said, "Oh, in Barcelona, make round tables. Super interesting. They don't wanna. Come on, let's do it."
Yeah.
And
Jeff came, Jason came. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we made Jason. And I was, and also this changed our life too, because Rousset finally...
Yeah, I was not even 1 year working on the industry, and I was organizing a summit with big names. Some of the names, sorry, I have to say, who's that one? I mean, I was starting on the industry. I didn't know the big names. I say, oh, this person is coming. And I was like, okay, who's that one? Yeah.
That's the important part of getting together and meeting people. I'm a very big supporter of that. That's why we do the D2 conference.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think that talking to other studios and sharing information, to have constant communication. We started with Barcelona, but now we have also a lot of friends / colleagues. I don't know. I prefer to call them friends. From Italy, from Iran. Well, they are Said from Iran. They are now in Australia. People from Madrid. In Romania, we have Nicoleta there.
Also, most part is for the D2 conference because we've been there 2 times, maybe 3. We will see. but it's one of the best things about
this is a very important thing that you're saying, because very often I have this conversation with people that are asking me, how can we find clients? You know, we don't want to go to the D2 because we don't care about the community. We just want to have clients. I'm like, clients start from collaborations, because collaborations can take you there.
Yep.
You know, people need to be, and I'm not trying to sell the D2 to anybody. It's just that sometimes it baffles me how people are very short-sighted in a way that they just think 1 + 1 = 2 and that's it. You know, there is no...
the thing with life is that you never know.
It's true. We see it now.
To us, going to the first D2 conferences was super, super important. I get to meet Karina from Lemon Buckets. That was first love at first sight too. We haven't done a collaboration with them, but with her, I met Danny. It's another guy in the studio of Lemon Buckets. We share a lot of personal work that we make. So it's like Danny, it's part of my safety net. That I show him first the matte painting that I'm doing, and he also does the same. And we get opinionate, give the opinion to the other. Sorry. I don't know, you never know. So he pushed me to go to the matte painting, for example. Yeah, and it was going for the D2.
But also for us sharing is super important, because you need more recommendations. If there are bad recommendations, it sucks. But usually if you get in touch with people of the industry, most part of the people in the industry are super open. They share everything. They share their own feelings about everything you have. And we use a lot this kind of calls to say, okay, what do you think about this kind of job? Or what do you think? Please help me, because probably if I don't have the experience, you have it. And usually we have like a lot of solution that being there close in your studio with like a cave.
Yeah, actually this weekend and Monday and Tuesday we were talking with Playtime, we were talking with Diego, we were talking with Santi about how to, the technical stuff from working from home. So we are bringing solutions all together.
Yeah. And I think it's to be in this kind of workshops at conference, you always take something good for you.
Always.
I never have the opposite sensation. You know?
If you're willing to take it, you know, because I've had also like people coming to me that said, you know, that didn't happen for me. And I was like, but did you talk to people? No. Did you hang out? Did you spend time? And you know.
Yeah. So, no, I have to say, first time can be a little bit impressive if you go alone. Yeah, overwhelming. Like if you go alone, you have to make like, hello, this thing, but do it. Everyone is feeling exactly like you. Yeah. Everyone is afraid to talk, afraid to disturb. last year we went with Andreu. Is a guy that is from Catalonia, but he's working in Sweden or living in Sweden. And he told, because we have already been there, we met you, we know Matthew, we know Jeff, we know this bunch of people, so we went there a little bit more comfortable than the first time. And he was like, oh my God, you know everyone, you introduced me to everyone, you're amazing. But yeah, the first time we didn't do it, so keep going.
One summer, this guy came to me at the D2 and said, I don't want to say the name, but he said, Fabio, I don't know anybody, but I see your videos. Would you mind introduce me to somebody? And so I said, okay, come with me. And I spent 1 hour going with him, and I was like, hey, this is my friend. Hi, meet this guy. And, you know, this guy was like, okay. And then I was taking him around the whole time. And then I leave, and I'm like, you know, I had to do work. In the night, we go out to this restaurant, and I see this guy in the middle of a table, on the table, jumping, and everybody is screaming his name. Ah! And this guy dancing. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, you need a little bit. You need someone. You need someone.
You need to push yourself a little bit. Guys, believe it or not, we're very close to 50 minutes.
No, really? Oh my God. Already? Okay.
Time goes super fast. Let me ask you, I have 2 more questions and then I let you go. Even though you're not busy, but I need to go and cook. My wife has already asked me. Since we have the staying at home, instead of having lunch, we're eating like 3 or 4 course meals. It's like bruschetta, pasta, salad, meat.
Oh yeah, you have so many good restaurants in Tel Aviv.
Yeah, but we're eating at home. I'm cooking.
Yeah, I know, but they are closed now. I know.
Oh yeah, you came. We missed each other.
Yeah, I love Tel Aviv. I've been there 2 times already, and well, the people is super nice too, but food is
the food is amazing. I know.
Focus, we have 10 minutes.
Yeah, questions.
Let me ask you. Do you guys ever think about the idea of purpose? And more in the specific, do you think about the idea of your own purpose as person, as office?
Yeah, I think it's like we've been talking about that, and one of the things probably that give us like something, especially it was like if our company, never, I don't know, it's purpose still. No, purpose is your idea. Come on, Rose.
Okay. Well, I'm a very simple person. So to me, purpose in life is to be happy. It's stupid, I know, but it is.
I don't think it's stupid. I think that sometimes people overcomplicate things and say, I have to do this and that. Sometimes just be happy. It's a simple thing.
Yeah, so this is a thing that we have discussed a lot with Albert, because he overthinks a lot, which is good because I don't overthink nothing. So we make a good balance. A good balance. I mean, to be happy, it's I would say like 3 recommendations for people. Okay, that it's something that my mother and my father had taught me. They split it when I was 2, so they taught me this separate from each other. So the first thing was that my mother told me that not to worry and not to be preoccupied, because preoccupied it's before occupied. You know, it's stupid, I know, but it got on my brain. So if there's a problem and you can fix it, fix it. And if you cannot fix it, don't worry. Albert will fix it.
Yeah. No, that's important thing in my life.
That's our relationship, yeah. And the other thing is that to try to get away all the negative thoughts. How to do that? So my father always told me, don't say that you hate this. So like remove hate from your vocabulary. For example, this is one thing. Because it's like, oh, I hate potatoes. I don't know, when I was a child. No? and he was like, you really hate them? Like hate potatoes? Or you don't like them? Oh, no, yeah, that makes sense. And this always, I'm putting the example of food, but it goes with everything. That don't again, and if you are going with negative thoughts that I'm not good enough, I'm stupid, I'm not, I don't know, these thoughts. Another thing that my mother taught is that you are the only person that have to live with yourself the rest of your life. You better start being kind with yourself. Yeah, maybe him, we don't know. But you better start being kind with yourself, and you better like yourself. You have this voice, you have your conversation inside your head. They better be funny or something, I don't know.
I love that.
Yeah, so purpose, that's to me happiness. For him,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't be stressed. No,
Don't be stressed.
I think it's like I'm pushed a lot in myself. So these last years I'm trying to be like more kind with myself.
Yeah.
That if I don't arrive to solve everything, it's okay. Because finally you learn and you would go to another direction. But the thing is like always trying to do it perfect. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen. But some points, not everything.
You cannot control everything.
You could, but not everything. Okay, and that's a way that I'm learning to do it because
unless everyone stay home, then you can control coronavirus.
Also,
Guys, what does success look like to you?
To fulfill your purpose? No, I don't know. To me, I would say that graph succeed, but how graph will succeed is that we make a culture of the studio that can survive without us. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yes, I like that.
Actually, I'm reading a book now that it's Creativity Inc.
From
super interesting. I don't know the name.
From Cat.
Exactly. I'm learning anything. I'm learning a lot of things. Each sentence, new thing. And it says that, but we have already talked about it with Albert. That graph has to be more than just two names or just our faces. So don't look at us. The graph has to mean another thing. People has to be happy to work in graph. People has to be, proud, wants to be with us, wants to be part of the team. Because, for example, when we do interviews, last week have been doing interviews for job position, what we say is that we don't do overtime. That's crazy. I know that every time it's happening more and more, but we've never done overtime.
That's amazing.
Because this is a part of the culture, because we have been both exposed with our former employees, and we didn't want that. This is one thing that we love our life. We love our work, but we love our life. To have the time to switch your brain off and, take a walk or see a movie, read a book, do puzzles, paint, everything. This helps you to be more creative, and what we want in the studio is to have creative minds.
Yeah.
So if we have to stress them, they are not going to be how we want them to behave on the studio.
Yeah, and that's the purpose. Yeah, I think and success for all is that everybody. It's happy and it's difficult, but we will be.
Guys, I've never laughed so much in any of the interviews that I've done. Thank you.
I don't believe it.
They're all online, so you can go and see it for yourself.
Okay.
Look, thanks a lot for coming through. It was a beautiful interview. I cannot wait to put it online so that people can see it. I'm going to leave all the links to your social media. If people want to reach out to you, where can they find you? What is the best way?
Email, Instagram. I don't know. Well, maybe Instagram, if it's a DM, sometimes it doesn't show up, but I would say email. Drop us an email.
And Instagram too. Instagram, we're super responsive.
Facebook too. Yeah, we are online most of the time. Yeah. So
no, nowadays more.
Guys, thanks a lot for doing this. I'm going to stop the recording. Don't go anywhere so that I can say thank you one more time, okay?
Okay. Bye.
Bye.